back to the UnRuffled Ladies. We welcome you back to the UnRuffled Ladies. Thank you so much for joining us again today with the UnRuffled Ladies. And we all know what the UnRuffled Ladies mean. It means to be confident, balanced, and at ease. I am the host for UnRuffled Ladies along with my two co-hosts, Rosalind Hall and Verlisia Harris. And so we just welcome you. We're excited. We ask that you just come on in. Please let us know that you're on. This is the time that we chat. So let us know that you're on. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yeah, that's very, very important for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. The UnRuffled Ladies is a platform that you can come and just express your true feeling, your true thoughts. That's what it's all about. It's really about tapping into your inner man, and I know that we've been raised and been taught to hold things in, but I believe that God have opened up a window or opened up a door where we can be honest with Him. How many of you know that God knows your thoughts before you think it?
Yeah.
He knows thoughts before you think it. So that means because He knows your thoughts, we can be honest with ourselves, and we can at least tell God our thoughts. Our topic today, we're talking about suicide. We want awareness, suicide awareness. That's our topic for today. And there are so many people who have committed suicide or maybe going through the state of that. But we want to just talk about that. We want you to be free. If you have any questions that you want to ask, or you may want to just impart something into the people that's going to be watching on today, talking about suicide. We know with the inflation have gone up higher, the economy is terrible, the pace is down. So there's a lot of people out there who are stressed. There's a lot of people that's having anxiety, and those are true feelings. Those are true facts. Depression, those are true facts that people are dealing with on a daily basis. So if we can give you some information and some things to just to think about, to help you not to get to that place that you want to kill yourself. And so once again, we want to welcome you to the UnRuffled Ladies. Just to kind of give you an overall, we was looking at the survey that's talking about, according to August the 29th to 2024, more than 220,000 people died due to suicide every year. It says suicide is the third leading cause of death among 15 to 29 years old. So we're not just talking about older people, we're talking about young people, 15-year-old. You know, I do want to just express, even if you have children and you see your children that maybe is not acting the norm or acting the way that they should be, or they want to be distant, they want to be off to themselves, you know, they don't want to be around. Those are some key things that you might want to kind of pay attention to. You know, I don't want nobody around me. I just want to, those are key things. And we know even with the internet and social media, you know, that cause anxiety, it cause depression. I don't look like that. I don't have what they have. Many things that is going on that will give you those thoughts and make you feel that you're not important. So guess what? I just want to give up on life. I want to give up on life. So today we just want to share some information with you concerning suicide. Yeah. So as I said, I have my two hosts as well. So Pastor Rosalind, we're going to start with you first.
Okay.
Are we open that everybody can hear us? Let us know if you hear us well. If we're not, is the sound okay? Please let us know in our chat box. Please feel free to chat with us this evening. If you have questions, we want to, or you have an input, we want to make sure that we recognize that. So please let us know. But Rosalind, I just kind of want to start off with you. I want to say good evening to you. Thank you for being on with us again this evening. It's so much fun for us to come on together to share information to the audience. And so I want to just start out by asking the question, what is the most common root cause for suicide?
You know, Lady Jeana, let me start out first by saying, and welcome to the both of you too. It's always wonderful to be on here. You know, I'm so glad that we get to be used in this manner. And I'm sure today we have a regular audience, and this is a subject that's not easy sometimes, but it's necessary. That's
Yeah.
why that's why September, was chosen to be the Prevention Awareness Month for suicide. Okay. And Lady Jeana's question was, what is the most common root cause um, for suicide? But let me start out
I
by
mean,
saying,
Rosalind, let me say when I said root cause, because a lot of times we don't understand that there's a root cause to everything that we do. What is the root cause of it? And if we don't get to the root of the matter, we will never solve the matter.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
So just give us some some root cause. Yeah.
okay. Um, Let me get to this right here. That word root, that's really good,
Yeah.
because there's always an underlining, an underlining. But the thematic analysis that has been identified, there are three main patient-related factors
Mm-hmm.
that contribute to death by suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And a exacerbated mental health conditions, which that means something already existed.
Mm-hmm.
An issue was already there, a problem was already happening, and the mental health condition, and something comes along and makes it even worse. It intensifies it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Plus a lack of engagement with services and non-adherence to medications. Uh, I also want to say another route, or something that we can think about, is what leads to it. Along with that root problem.
Mm-hmm.
uh, from our from our investigating and reading and meditating on this topic, it came up with the answer that there is no one single cause for suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, suicide most often occurs when stressors and health issues converge together. It's not
Mm-hmm.
just one thing, it's many things.
Mm-hmm.
They converge together and they create an experience of hopelessness and despair.
Mm-hmm.
So, depression is the most common condition associated with suicide, and that's the one that often goes undiagnosed and undetected. Depression.
Depression. Depression.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think that one could be in a state of well? Also, let me go back and ask this question. Uh, you said something that is already there. So, do you think that have age number on it? Do you think an individual as early as a 5-year old or 10-year old can have some kind of under going issues that can eventually cause you or cause them to want to commit suicide?
I just have to give my personal opinion, Lady Jeana. Yes, I believe that someone that young can definitely show signs that there's something deeper going on in their mental state, you
Mm-hmm.
know, that could make them exhibit behavior that just doesn't make sense in somebody that young. You know,
Right. Right.
you have um school age kids, elementary kids, even younger kids than that, that are put into the system,
Mm-hmm.
that's put into the system until they get old enough to be trialed as an adult,
Yeah.
simply from those signs that went undetected.
Yeah.
That, well, they were failed. They were failed because no one around them, in their circle, their siblings, their classmates, the teachers, the counselors, there's so many people around in their life. No one detected that this 8-year-old was in a state of depression.
Right. Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right.
and here they are acting out in ways you think they're just being a bad child, or they're
Yeah.
just being, an adolescent. No,
Yeah.
it's something going on.
Yeah.
It's something going on.
Yeah. And that's so good for you to say that. I was watching, I think I was watching Dr. Phil, and this little girl, I think she was about 7 or 8 years old. But I mean, when I tell you that she did some of the things that you would never think a 7-year old would do, she called herself the devil. and her eyes would get funny, but she would just destroy the house. She would just, I'm just, and her mom would just afraid of her. At that age, she was just totally afraid of her. But like you said, some things like that we overlook and we think, oh, she just bad. Oh, or he just did. So, but there's some other issues that is going on that is more serious than just the word bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and eventually, if you don't do anything about it, it could come to a period of that time of suicide.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. So um, there's always an underlying factor there,
yes,
you know.
that's good. Uh, 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 Lisa,
Yes,
I want to ask
ma'am.
you a question as well. What will the suicide rate be, you think, would be by the year of 2030? We know that
20.
it's yeah, it's really bad now. And just
Mm-hmm.
looking at our society and looking at what we have to encounter now,
Mm-hmm.
we went through the stage of the COVID. We prices have gone up, housing has gone up. Everything is at a all-time high. You know, uh, of course your pay is at a standstill, and so by the year of 2030, what do you think the rate of suicide would be like?
Well, according to this, it said the mortality rate for females was predicted to decrease um, from 18.3 per 100,000 in 2015 to 12.9 per 100,000 in 2030.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the males, it will be from 40.1 per 100,000 in 2015 to 33.8 for 100,000 in 2030. Um, and so this is what an actual uh, rate would, it will actually go down
Mm-hmm.
um, according to this. But
Mm-hmm.
also we was looking at what the rate was for Texas. And when we look at the state of Texas, or actually Houston, Texas, it says the suicide rate has also decreased over the last 2 decades um, to 11.2 per 100,000 residents from 10.3. It increased over the last 2 decades.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then it says, but in comparison to the state of Texas, Houston is still, it remains lower. So um, but it has, over the last 2 decades, it has gone up here in the city of Houston. So that's very interesting. Um,
Now
and then I was
you said
uh,
in the city of Houston is what now?
in the city of Houston is increased. It increased from uh 11 point it increased to 11.2 from 10.3.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So that
Mhm.
here in Houston, it have increased.
Yes, it's increased over the last 2 decades.
Yeah. So
But
it let us know that, hey, this is real. This is real.
Hmm.
You get to a point in life where you just don't understand life and you don't feel like you have anybody that you can talk to. And I just want to really just encourage you to find someone that you can talk to. I know for my generation up, as I said this earlier, we was kind of taught to just hush. And some of the people that are going to church, saying that they 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 love the Lord, but they're still hurting from the inside, and they feel like, I don't want to be shamed. I don't want to be made ashamed, so I'm not going to talk to anybody about it. I don't want to be anybody to know I feel like this because they may think I'm crazy. Just all kind of excuses that the devil give us. I do want to say that's the enemy make you have those thoughts that I don't want to tell anybody because they're gonna look at me funny. They're gonna tell me I'm not saved. All kind of things that but the Bible said confess your fault one to another.
Hmm.
You know, and so everybody needs somebody that I need somebody that I can talk to. And you have heard me say this over and over again on this Unruffled Ladies show. Until I began to be transparent and tell and say what I really feel from the inside out, that's when my healing really began. I too was in that stage at an early age, just leaving home, didn't know who I really was. I knew what I thought I knew what I wanted to be, but it just wasn't. It didn't look like that at that time, and so I didn't want to live either. It just things just wasn't panning out the way I thought it should pan out. So I just thought, you know, what? Why am I here? You know, and that's just a trick of the enemy to make you even have those thoughts, but they are real.
Yeah.
They are real. It's
Mm-hmm.
real. You know, and we kind of talked earlier. A lot of times back in our days, if we felt that, we couldn't go to our parents and say that, you know, you
Mm-hmm.
are crazy or what's wrong with you, and but those are real feelings. And I hope today that even if that's you and you feel you are having some of these you know anxiety or depression or
Mm-hmm.
loneliness, a lot of things that brings on those thoughts, you know, that you will find somebody. If not, guess what? You can inbox me and we can talk about it. We can talk about it. Another question, Rosalind.
Mhm.
Which country has the highest suicide rate?
Well, surprisingly, and I say surprisingly, it's Lesotho, Lesotho, and
Mm-hmm.
that's in the middle of larger cities in South Africa.
Okay.
Uh, Lesotho it became independent in 1966 from British,
Okay.
and during that time is when things started to go down. The poverty level rose, rates and crimes rose,
Mm-hmm.
um, unemployment got even worse than what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So according to the World Health Organization, 87.5 people per 100,000 of the population in
Wow.
Lesotho
Wow.
took their own life. It says
Wow.
every year, and it's called Lesotho is called the Kingdom of Lesotho. And by contrast, that's more than double the next country on the list, which is Guyana in South America, where the figure is just more than about 40, 40%.
Yeah.
That was reported in just this past August 5th,
Wow.
2024. Okay.
Wow.
So here you have it, a small city that's encompassed by nothing but land. It's a landlocked, meaning that they don't have direct access to an ocean, a sea, or a large body of water, but it has bigger cities surrounding it. And through investigation and reading, it says that most of those big cities that are surrounding it, they are some of the cities that have some of the lower suicidal rate. So
Wow.
how is that in comparison to our lives with people that are in our circle?
Yeah.
Oh, in the circle, you have people that are they're optimistic about life. They talk about their problems and issues. They have support systems.
Yeah.
Uh, but then somebody in the same circle
Yeah.
commits suicide.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
How
Exactly.
does that how I'm saying, how does it happen? But it goes without saying, when a suicide related crisis occurs, friends and family, they're often caught off guard and
Yeah.
unprepared
Yeah.
and unsure about what to do. The behaviors of a person experiencing a crisis can be, and sometimes it doesn't change drastically.
Right.
There's
Right.
somebody who has been ignored. You've seen their depression. You
Yeah.
didn't even want to be around them because they felt negative.
Yes. Yes.
You didn't even want to be in their presence.
Yeah.
But when you really say you love and you care for somebody, you don't just look at the things on the surface. You got to dig deep. When you love and you care for somebody, you look under, you pull back the curtain. You
Yes.
look under the table.
Yeah.
You start asking them some serious questions.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So it's alarming. I mean, we see it
Yes.
all the time in media.
Yes. And you know, Rosa, it's so good. You said the key word. A lot of times we see people looking depressed, being depressed, anxiety, and we want to pull away from it. I don't want to be around that negativity. When really you need to dip, you really need to, like as you said, dig deep and ask questions. What's going on? Because it would be shame on you if you heard about it next week or next month on the news that they committed suicide.
Yeah.
When you was right there in their presence, and maybe one word could have changed their whole way of thinking.
That's right.
But because that we don't want to mix and mingle anymore, don't touch me, don't talk to me, don't, we putting ourselves, I think, in a worse place. Yeah.
I can hear the verbiage now. I knew something was wrong with him. I knew something was going on with her.
Yes.
Now I know why she stopped calling me.
Yes.
Come on now.
Yes. Yes. And the question is, did you reach out to her? Did you reach out to him? Did you make an effort to see what is going on?
Yeah.
I know I have said many times over, I wonder, is anybody praying for me? I was in a state, and I have said, is anybody calling my name out? I just wonder, because at the time when nobody calling me, asking me, how you doing? Are everything okay? Isn't it nothing? So there has been time in my life I said, is anybody praying for me? Is anybody calling my name out?
Mm-hmm.
Do anybody see me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm hurting right now. Do you see this? And there's so many people out there is saying that same thing. Do anybody see me?
Yes.
I'm hurting. Can't you see? I mean, some of these people are going to church.
Yeah.
It's sitting beside the same person every Sunday, every Wednesday, sitting on the same pew and leaving out of church hurting.
Yeah.
And saying those same words. Do anybody see me? I'm hurting.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what UnRuffled Ladies is all about. That's what this platform is all about. We know you out there.
Yes.
That's why we come up with these topics.
Yes.
You can reach out to us if you don't know either one of us personally. That's why we have a group page. You don't have to chat on the group page. You can send us a message. Give us your name and your number. If you just need somebody to talk to, this is what UnRuffled Ladies is all about.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I just wanted to say this can be a very disheartening topic, but it's like you said, it's very necessary.
Yes.
One of the things that I did discover that was very interesting was when I was telling Pastor Jeana yesterday, I went to the library to try to find, some resources on suicide awareness, and was very shocked that when I went to the front desk to ask, um, there was really not much that they could find on it.
Wow.
And you're talking about a library, which is supposed to be a community place for people.
Yeah.
You would think they would have more resources available.
Right.
And when she did take me to what she did have, it was only one book really that dealt with the issue, which I checked out the book. And the book is called How Not to Kill Yourself. A
Wow.
Portrait of the Suicidal Mind by Clancy Martin. It's a very interesting book, but it gives you some really good insights on how a person with suicide, how they think, what's going through their mind, how they processing living from day to day, and considering how they may want to die.
Wow.
But one of the quote, just quoting from what you were talking about, how a person that may be suicidal within your circle and you don't know it. This is a quote from him. He says, throughout the course of multiple attempts taken, he was one that he said that he's taken multiple attempts to end his life. He said that they hide the attempts from spouse, family, co-workers, etc., slipping back into daily life with scars from attempts in a series of vague explanations. So they're good at, hiding what's going on. They slip, even though they may have, endangered themselves, but they slip back into things, to their circle, as if everything is normal. And so you might see something odd. You might see a scar on them. You might see a bruise. Or, you might see something just out of the ordinary, like what's going on, that make trigger your curiosity, and then they'll give an explanation, like they explain that it may have been an accident or something, that a freak accident that happened, but it very well could be someone that was trying to commit suicide.
I just want to encourage parents that have children. Keep a close eye on your children. There's so much setting going on. Watch their body. Watch. Look at them. Sit down and have conversation, and just as you conversate, look at their bodies and look how they reacting, and just all kind of little things that you can pick up on that would tell you, okay, something is off.
That's my next question. Can we really tell when there's something off with a loved one or a friend? Can we tell when something is really off?
Yes.
Okay. Before we address that, we have several comments in our Facebook post, in our Facebook chat. Let's address them. Hi, good afternoon, Miss Mina. We have Miss Betty Fitzgerald. She says she's just tuning in, and the question, she questioned what caused suicide. I guess by the time she posted it, we had answered it. Some of the, we addressed some of the underlining things, which before our time is out, we'll probably go over that again, Miss Fitzgerald. Thank you for joining us. Shanti Franklin, Miss Betty, they said depression. They're communicating with each other on the Facebook chat.
Yeah, great.
That's wonderful. They said depression.
Yes.
So Miss Shanti, she posted, believe it or not, my daughter called me yesterday morning talking about she no longer wanted to live.
Wow.
She immediately began to pray. And Shanti, let me say this.
For her, yes.
When we get off of this broadcast today, we'll be praying as well.
Yes.
For you and your daughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just want to do, what is her name? Who's that?
Shanti Franklin.
John. Oh, yes. Get with your daughter, and y'all sit down and talk, and be willing to listen. Listen. That's very, very important. We as parents sometimes we don't listen, and they just want you to just listen. Although it may sound crazy to you, it may not sound like my daughter is feeling like this. No, just listen. And while you listen, God is going to give you an answer to give back. And then sometimes there's no answer. Sometimes people just want you to listen, and then just let them know, I'm here for you. We can walk this out together.
Yes.
Whatever that might be, we can walk this out together.
Go ahead, Lisa. But before we get off the broadcast today, everybody, we're going to give a few ways that you can approach a suicide-related crisis. An actual verbiage, actual ways that you can approach it. Sometimes we just don't know what to do or what to say. And Shanti, prayer, that's what you do when you don't know what to do or what to say.
Yes.
Because we know prayer is powerful.
What to do. He's going to give you what to say.
Yes.
Whenever we go to him, and we know when God give it to you, it's a done deal.
Yeah.
So give you the right words to say. He's going to give you what to do at the time you need to do it.
Yeah. And here's something else that's really interesting too. That kind of changed my view as for someone that's going through that. A lot of times we'll say when a person attempts suicide, it's a cry for help. Normally you hear people say, "Oh, it's just a cry for help." But he says, the same author, he says that it actually we should see it as a cry from the heart.
Mm.
A cry from the heart, as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to it's just a cry for help. It's a cry
Or they're
from the
trying
heart.
to get attention. No, that's a,
Oh yeah,
that is a sincere cry from the heart.
yeah, a
Yes.
cry from the heart.
Yes.
And when you look at it as a cry from the heart, then it gives you the it gives you, well, it what's the word I want to look for? It helps you to see, it positions your ear to hear, to have a hearing ear,
Yeah.
as opposed to you just shrugging it off and saying, oh, they just, they just want attention, or they just crying out for help. They need help. Okay. And they may be true, but by the same token, we can't just be oblivious to the fact that it is literally a cry from the heart.
Yeah.
They're in pain.
Yeah.
That's what the word says. It says the issues of life flows from where?
From the heart.
From the
Yeah.
heart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
From the heart. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another question, Pastor V. What is the number one suicide disease? What is the number one suicide disease?
That when I came across that, I thought that was interesting because I had never heard that term before, of suicide disease. But it says trigeminal neuralgia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I've never heard of that. It's TGN, which
Mhm.
is commonly nicknamed suicide disease, and it's a unpredictable bouts of severe pain that makes everyday living unbearable. Every aspect of life becomes shrouded in currents of unrelenting shocks to the face, causing both physical and mental anguish.
Hmm. I've never heard of that neither.
Yeah,
Mm.
but that's
Wow.
interesting though. That it can, affects, some may have physical, um, physical symptoms along with it. It's not necessarily just emotional pain, but also physical pain could be associated with it as well.
Mm-hmm.
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 Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you can be miserable, and that can be a strong pain. That can
Mm.
be something like an unbearable. It got to be unbearable for you to get to the place where you want to kill yourself.
Well, in some
Yeah.
cases, some people experience, agonizing pain when they're going through, physical pain when they're going through depression.
Yes.
It comes out in their body physically. And it's funny how God designed your body, that, your body, it, when you're experiencing like overwhelming feelings, emotions, how your body goes into like a state where it tries to calm itself,
Mm-hmm.
because overstimulation like that over time, you can't take all of that.
Yeah.
And you would think, because our body knows instinctively how to respond
Mm-hmm.
to overwhelming situations, you would think that they would kind of give us a better revelation as to how we should respond,
Mm-hmm.
because our body just automatically kicks in.
Yeah.
But we, on the other hand, we gotta, it take us a moment for us to even catch up and realize what's actually going on,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So
We
we
were.
really need to be pay close attention to your body, because
Yeah.
that could be an indication that, hey, I need to step away, I need to take a break, I
Yeah.
need to have a woosah moment, I need to have a time of rest to
Yeah.
collect myself,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
because I think a lot of times we just kind of,
We tie
and
ourselves.
I'm guilty of it too. You might feel something, you be like, you just push, you push, you push, you push, you go,
Mm-hmm.
you go, you go, you go
Yeah.
until you can't go no more.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
as opposed to just having the wisdom and say, it's okay for me to just put this down for now, and let me just take a moment to rest.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
in other words, it's okay to have a lazy day.
And get
2 or 3
refreshed.
days for you to just rest and
Yes.
refresh and
Get refreshed.
in other words, check in with yourself.
Yes.
You know,
And
check
then come back.
what is going on with you inside.
Yes.
Truly feeling, you know,
Mm-hmm.
what is weighing you down, what do you think about the most, you
What do you
know,
need to
what
let go of?
your heart the most. You need to
Yeah.
check yourself every so often. You need to just have a lazy day and make it all about you to check in with you. What's going on
Mm-hmm.
with you?
Mm-hmm.
You know what's interesting to me here? What are we talking about? We're talking about what was the number one suicide disease
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that causes a person to take their life.
Mm-hmm.
It's so excruciating. The pain is so excruciating. And
yeah,
it was this trigeminal neuralgia, called TAG. Well, from reading here, it says the most cases, the pressure is caused by an artery or vein squashing or compressing that nerve. Trigeminal, that is a nerve.
Mm.
And it says this nerve carries sensation of touch and pain from the face, eyes, sinuses, and mouth to the brain.
wow,
So think that's the number one excruciating disease that is associated with suicide. And I've never heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
I've
wow,
Yeah.
never heard of it.
yeah,
And you don't hear many people really, you know,
talking about
expound or talk about that. That's never come up when it's even in, you know, conversations about suicide or suicide awareness
yeah,
resources. I've never, that has never come across.
Yeah. It says it makes everyday living unbearable.
wow,
Mm-hmm.
wow,
Once again, guys, family, friends, we're talking about Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. That
mhm,
word prevention is key because it's these conversations right here that Miss Fitzgerald, Miss Franklin, everybody that's listening, you, me, uh, Lady Jeana, Lisa, it's gonna make us aware. Now it's on the breastplate of our hearts
yeah,
when we're in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
That smile is just a frown turned upside down.
ooh, Jesus,
There's something behind it.
yeah,
And that's why it's called prevention. We wanna cut it off. We wanna T-bone it and intercede
yeah,
the emotions, the stress, the hardship. We might not can take them out of their problem, but we can sure make them feel like that they're not in it by themselves.
that's right,
Mm-hmm.
that's right,
Mm-hmm.
You know.
yeah,
So this is so very important. Nobody might want to talk about it, but you'll want to talk about it when all of a sudden you hear on the news that somebody, in the public eye, when they take their life, it's like, oh,
mhm,
I never would have thunk it.
yeah, 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 yeah. And there are some people they so deep into state of depression and all those other things that causes suicide. They'll go and take somebody else's life and then take theirs as well.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
hear and we see a lot of that. You
Yeah.
know, and it's really on an all-time high. You
Mm-hmm.
think it's not that bad because maybe you haven't had that experience in your immediate family, or but it's this thing suicide. It's a big thing. It's yeah, yeah. Yeah, I want to give us what are the 4 types of suicide? Roger, can you talk about that? What is the 4 types? There's different types of suicide. What are they?
Hmm. So some of the research has determined that Durkheim,
Mm-hmm.
that's spelled Durkheim, has long proposed No, I'm sorry. That's the resource. The 4 types of suicide is egotistic,
Mm-hmm.
alt, um, altruistic, anomic, and fatalistic.
Mm-hmm.
Risk factors for suicide entail both static and dynamic factors. Dynamic factors encompass both clinical and situational variables. And I wished I had a little bit more on those actual 4 types. I wish we could probably go ahead and put them in the chat, and it's something that everybody can, investigate on their own,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm sure underneath each category, the egotistic, that's a prominent um, mannerism, ego.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
How does that really tie in to leading uh, uh, to suicide? Remember, it's talking about 4 types of suicide. One of them is egotistic,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
altruistic, amniotic, fatalist. Even y'all are this online watching, put it in the post, put it in
Yeah.
the chat, Google it, paste it in there so others can read it.
Yeah. Yeah. Do we have any more questions or any respond? Make sure you like and share the broadcast today. Somebody hear this. Some of your friends, some of your family members need to hear. So if you would just begin to like and share, that they will be able to, start paying more close attention. This is the month that we just make known what suicide is, how devastating it is, and how serious it is. So please like and share. Do we have any more comments?
Yes, welcome, Miss Diane Peters. She's watching with us.
Yeah.
Miss Fitzgerald, Miss Betty said it could also mean every aspect of their life is very uncomfortable or unbearable. Just
Wow.
maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Every aspect.
Every
Mm-hmm.
aspect. Yeah.
So you can imagine, yes, if every aspect, if there's turmoil going on in every area of your life,
Yeah. And
some
how many know that there are so many people feel that? So many people have actually say just everything going wrong in my life.
yes. And you're gonna look for an escape.
Yes.
Sometimes in drugs, sometimes in alcohol, sometimes in sexual behavior,
Yeah.
sometimes in escaping by just getting ghosts. Don't nobody know where you are. I mean, you've disappeared off the face of the earth. You've turned your
Yeah.
back on your life, your kids, your family. People just disappear. They do that.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
they are done. They
Yes.
walk away from everything and everybody.
Yes. And it's all because of those feelings.
Yes.
All because,
Yes.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah,
Um
he even also there's another thing too, where he talking about this author that I was reading. He talks about how he vacillates between both extremes. He vacillates between the will to live and the desire to die.
hmm.
So, he may get up one day and he's feeling good or feeling normal, pretty normal. And
Mm-hmm.
then maybe about it before the day out, he's thinking about committing suicide or attempting,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And so they vacillate between either way, is the way he described, you know,
Mm. So
what
do you
he,
think those feelings have something to do with being bipolar? Yeah, I heard the word bipolar.
it
You know,
could be, yeah, bipolar is associated with a a symptom or pre-symptom of being suicidal. If a person can have a mental illness,
mm-hmm.
yeah, that's one of them.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, okay, Pastor Verlisia, we mentioned mental illness, and those are some of the symptoms as well. Talking about
Hmm.
mental illness disorder. You
Hmm.
want to kind of just talk about that? Some of the things that Well, we already mentioned anxiety, but just kind of talk about all those different mental illness disorder that a person could have that could lead up to being suicidal.
Well, there's quite a few of them which we've already tapped on a few of, which we talked about depression, which is a persistent feeling of sadness, hopelessness, and worthlessness. Um, Also, we talked about anxiety, which is severe anxiety, panic, which can overwhelm you, making
Mhm.
you feel life is unmanageable. Um,
And
and a lot of times,
a lot of people say uh, talk about anxiety.
mhm,
I don't think that's real.
yeah, but
That's
life get overwhelming.
yeah, those are people
People
that
feel really overwhelmed.
overwhelmed. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are real feelings. You know,
Mhm.
and the thing is, we got how do you deal with those real feelings? You
Mhm.
know, and I always say one of them is just admitting what it really is, what it feels like, and have somebody that you can share those real feelings to.
Yeah.
Somebody that that's going to help walk you through this. That's not
Mhm.
criticize you, or not going to look at you as being crazy, or look at you as being, uh, oh girl, you just got a lot of issues. No, this is real. These are real feelings.
Or look at you like you weak.
Yeah, you weak.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah, yeah. And believe it or not, these are some people that know God.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, let's talk about some warning signs.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just looking now to see if there was any comments. The last
Mhm.
comment was Shanti commented. She said, "This is a hard conversation."
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
There was other ones like the bipolar disorder,
Mm-hmm.
which is extreme mood swings, and there's a lot of people that is going through that. They have extreme mood swings. Their especially depressive episodes can increase suicide risk. And then there's substance use. Alcohol or drug use can intensify mental health issues and impair judgment. And this is very common for people that experience suicidal um, ideation. That
Hmm.
a lot of times alcohol and drug use is associated,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because many times people are trying to find some way to numb the pain that they're feeling.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if it's just momentary.
Yeah.
You know.
Lisa, it says 1 in 5 people who die by suicide had alcohol in their system at the time of death.
Mm-hmm.
One in
Mm-hmm.
5.
1 in 5. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's very
I
common.
I can see that even some people feel like, well, this is the only way I can wind down. I have to have a drink. And that drink turn into another drink. Well, there's something that's really off that's making you so overwhelmed, and to the only way you can wind down, you got to know on something. You got to, you know,
Yeah. Or you got to smoke marijuana or weed or some type of substance to calm your nerves.
calm you down. That's you really need to, as I say, check in with yourself. You need to really see what's going on, because
Mm-hmm.
that can cause a root cause that can lead up to suicide
Mm-hmm.
in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, according to the CDC and the NIMH, 46,000 lives were lost to suicide in 2020 alone.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
46,000. That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
And you said this was in 2020?
That was in 2020
And that's
alone.
around pandemic time, which
Mm-hmm.
we know
There you
already
go.
that there were a lot of people who were isolated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They
You're
were
right.
really isolated. And, we, of course, we never been through anything like that,
Mm-mm.
where you had to be isolated for a long period of time.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
couldn't, you couldn't connect or physically connect with your family members.
Mm-hmm. And some people's
And
jobs were their lifeline, their
yeah,
livelihood,
yeah, exactly.
you know?
You couldn't work, you
Yeah.
know.
So
So
there are comments or thoughts about suicide, and they start out small sometime, also known as suicide um ideation.
mhm,
For example, I wished I wasn't here, or nothing matters. But over time, they can become more explicit and dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
Some of the warning signs: increased alcohol and drug use, aggressive behavior. Okay, you know what? Today, that's the norm.
Mm-hmm.
mm, mhm,
Alcohol and drug use is the norm. Nobody's looking at that like they could be a candidate for suicide.
Right. Right.
Nobody's looking at it that way.
Right.
Aggressive behavior. That people are on planes beating people up.
Yeah.
mhm.
Come on now. That's that's normal in societies. When I say normal, I mean it's not uncommon.
Yeah. Yeah. In
It's
other
not
words,
uncommon.
that is what's happening right now in today's world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Withdrawal from friends, family, and community. Now, you'll have some people that will buck that one because they're true introverts, you know. But
But
if that's not someone's normal behavior, like
Yeah,
suddenly, all of a sudden,
all of a sudden. Mhm,
yeah, now they're, they've withdrawn themselves, right?
mhm, mhm,
Um, where was I? Oh, dramatic mood swings, impulsive or reckless behavior,
mm-hmm.
suicidal behaviors, or psychiatric emergency.
Mm-hmm.
If you or a loved one starts to take any of these steps, seek immediate help from healthcare providers or call 988 to reach the suicide and crisis lifeline. See, I didn't even know that. I didn't know 988 was the number, but
yeah, it's a new
people,
number.
it's, yes, we'll put that in the chat. Collecting and saving pills or buying a weapon,
Mm-hmm.
giving away possessions.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm,
Yeah.
Something's going through my head.
Yeah.
Tying up loose ends, like organizing personal papers or paying off debts.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds, that type of behavior, actions, almost kind of sounds like someone elder, someone older, right?
Yeah.
mhm,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
They care about that sort of thing. Let me handle my business before I go,
Mm-hmm.
so I won't be a burden to somebody else.
Right.
Elderly people think like that,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's just my
Let's
opinion,
not
guys.
forget domestic violence. That's a
yeah,
that's a
domestic violence.
yeah.
Mhm,
Saying goodbye to friends and families. If you are unsure, a licensed mental health professional can help assess these things.
Yeah.
Okay. I know some of them are rather broad, but they're worthy of paying attention to.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, of course, our time is what is our time is just winding down. But this has been a great, great topic. I pray that if nothing, if you don't take anything else away from the topic, of course, check in with yourself. Check in with yourself. Why? Because there is a lot of things that's going on and a lot to come. A lot of more things to come, and we don't want to get in that place of suicide. I'm just giving up. I don't want to live anymore. This is too much for me. You know, there's a lot of help out there. There's be honest with yourself. Don't feel that you crazy because you're feeling this way, or I don't want nobody to know this because I'm so ashamed that I feel this way. Uh,
mhm,
find somebody that you can just be real with and you can talk to. And as we said earlier, if you don't have anybody in your life, you can always inbox us, and we are willing to. Hey, let's chat. That's what I say every time I make a post. Let's chat. Let's chat because that was one of the things that helped me uh, get to where I am today. I'm still growing, I'm still overcoming some things, but just talking about it, and I don't have no shame in my game. The way I feel, if I feel like that, that's just the way I feel.
Yeah.
Shame on you if that's what you think of me.
Mm-hmm.
If you belittle me because I'm expressing what I feel and what's going on, shame on you.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, shame on you. You know, and we as believers, yes, I know I'm a strong believer in God, you know, but there are some issues that I had that I didn't know how to deal with at one time. You can go to church, you can be on the prayer, but you can all those things. But if
Mm.
you tap into your check in with you, your inner man, and be honest with you, you almost going in vain. You know, God say that uh who he saved, who he set free is free indeed. So
Mm.
until God really set us free, but we got to be honest with him because he's not a molester. He don't force himself on nobody. He give us a free will.
Mm-hmm.
We have a free will. You know, he already know what's going on, but he waiting on you to say it. He waiting on you to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he said, open your mouth and confess.
Yeah.
Yes.
Confess your fault. That's what he said. Confess your fault. And then he even tells us to confess our fault one to another.
Yeah.
That's right.
We may be
But
healed.
religion have got us in a place where we're afraid to even confess to my sister in Christ.
Yeah.
Let alone somebody on the street. I'd rather go tell somebody on the street than tell somebody that I go to church with all the time.
All right.
How backward is that?
Yes.
You know, if I can't tell somebody I go to church with all the time, but the word said confess your fault one to another. But because of religion got us where we are afraid to do that.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna think I'm not saved.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna think I don't trust God. You're gonna think I don't pray.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna think evidently she don't read her word.
That's
Or
real.
you did something. You did something. You
Or
sinned.
I've done something that you see and the reason why you feeling like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not true. That
Hmm.
not the Bible said iron sharpen iron.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So there may be something that I have not come into knowledge of, or I have not gotten revelation of just yet, that you can help me to make me stop thinking the way I feel.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't come to you. I got to go to somebody on the streets because you're gonna think I'm not saved. Yeah, she on a prayer band and she not. No, that's religion got us like that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Our people on here, they're talking, they're commenting. Um, Miss Betty said we just need to be vigilant of the people's behavior. And Lady Jeana, she's agreeing with what you're saying. She said, "Speak, Lady Ned."
Mm-hmm.
Shanti, she says, "When I feel weakness, God allows me to operate uh, my strongest. Help me, Lord." And
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
He does, because when
Yes.
hours give out, his kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
yes,
But we
yes.
have to operate in faith in order to move to
To
function like
move
that.
and not be
Mm-hmm.
ashamed to tell
Yes,
God this is just the way I feel and say it,
yes,
whatever that
Mm-hmm.
might be. I'm depressed today, you know. And guess
mm-hmm,
what? God take that stuff. When you
yes,
be open with him and honest with him, all of a sudden you start feeling better. You're like, wow, where did this come from? That's God.
mm-hmm, yes, yes, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. So once again, we definitely want to thank you so much for your comments. We want to thank you for just participating with us, chatting with us today. Once again, I do want to encourage you. Please like and share. This is what the UnRuffled Ladies is all about: is to get you to a point where you can feel free to to speak what's on your mind, and then release it into the hand of the Lord. And
Yes,
he is the one really that takes care of it all. But he wants us to just to release it to him. Amen. Once again, I do want to encourage you, if you just need somebody to talk to, inbox us. Let us know. If not, hey, you can call my number, 832-419-0311. It's open.
amen,
Amen. Give me a call. And
amen.
down, talk. Hey, let's have dinner. Let's just sit down and talk about it. You may want to be just sit in the car. You know, you may not want nobody to see your face, or whatever the case may be.
Yes.
We are here, amen, to bring wholeness. Amen. God bless you. God keep you. You want to say one more thing, Rosalind?
October the 13th. You know, we're Facebook Live every second and fourth Sunday. The next Sunday, God willing, will be October the 13th.
Yes. 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 So please look out for, I think next month is domestic violence.
I believe so.
Yeah, domestic. And we know there's a lot of that going on. You know, there's a lot of domestic violence going on. I hear all the time. This man killed his girlfriend, killed his wife, and then shot himself. You know, all this is going on all long.
Go to the page and put in topic options that you would like to have us to address. You know.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. 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 So once again, good night. Thank you. Have a great evening. Amen. Be confident, be balanced, and be at ease. God bless you and God keep you.
Goodbye. Y'all have a good
evening, everybody.
Bye-bye.